All right. Good afternoon, everyone. As the new dean of the School of Natural and Social Sciences at Lehman College, I'm honored to welcome you to Science Hall in this very special event. Today, we're here to celebrate the preservation of a rare herbarium collection, including specimens that are over a century old, and the strength of a partnership that spanned nearly 6 decades. Here in this building every day, Lehman undergrads and grad students are educated in modern scientific theories and techniques. And it was here where we found these historic dried plant specimens that are part of the foundations of plant sciences. For, I learned, 57 years, Lehman College and the Graduate Center have worked with the New York Botanical Garden to advance plant science and education and research, plant science, education, and research. That collaboration provides our students and faculty access to world-class resources, labs, and expertise, and has led to more than, I learned, 150 CUNY students who've received a PhD in plant science. Very impressive. I want to take this opportunity to thank the New York Botanical Garden CEO, Jennifer Bernstein. Nice to meet you. And the entire NYBG team for their commitment to preserving this collection and supporting our academic mission. Sincere thanks to our colleagues from the CUNY Graduate Center. I see at least Dr. Christopher Blair, Executive Officer of the Biology Doctoral Program, for joining us today and for your continued support of the partnership. It is my pleasure to now introduce someone whose leadership continues to strengthen these institutional ties, our president, Dr. Fernando Delgado.
Happens when you don't memorize around a show. I didn't think I was first. But it's a pleasure to be here this afternoon. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Our colleagues from the Botanical Garden, our colleagues in graduate education down at the Graduate Center. Some might say these are small gestures, but these are important gestures, particularly for Lehman, for 2 reasons. One, we value our role in preserving a sense of community and cohesion and collaboration in the Bronx. Secondly, in terms of our education and research mission, we oftentimes do that in collaboration, and we have a long-standing collaboration with our colleagues in the Botanical Garden. And that collaboration extends beyond just doing research or graduate education or undergraduate education. They are wonderful partners. President Bernstein has been an asset to my time here, at times giving me sage advice, at times connecting me to other people, and most recently by joining our Lehman Foundation board. The other thing that moments like this remind me of is that all of us, to use a phrase that I first heard Jennifer say when I got here, all of us who are lighthouse institutions in the Bronx share a commitment to creating a better future, optimizing the present, and preserving and honoring the past. Because oftentimes in that past, we find lessons for the present and pathways for the future. And we get to tell a story or retell a story about the Bronx and its importance culturally, economically, socially in the formation of this city and this state. When I first got here during the COVID times, we spent a lot of time outside for obvious reasons. The Botanical Garden was one place that you could walk through. You couldn't always walk in, but you could walk through. But that was instructive. And the other place was, of course, Woodlawn. And both, if you paid attention to what you could see and what you could read, told an incredible history of the formation of this borough and this city. And I see opportunities like this as one more way of preserving and giving an opportunity for future students, scholars, and visitors to understand and contextualize the history of what was founded, what was created, what was known by the efforts of people who lived and worked in the Bronx. So I'm so happy that we have this opportunity. I'm so thankful for the partnership and support of the Botanical Garden. And once again, moments like this remind me that when I think about these lighthouse institutions, and President Bernstein clicked off about 7 or 9 of them, as I recall, and I dutifully went around trying to talk to all the presidents and directors of those lighthouse institutions, say, can I be your friend? And they were all very friendly. And it reminds me of that spirit of cohesion and that pride that we have in the Bronx. And there are more famous boroughs. There are richer boroughs in terms of economic heft. There are bigger boroughs. Still not sure there are better boroughs than the Bronx because of the people and the institutions that we have and the spirit that we bring. So happy that we have this moment and this opportunity. And a special thanks to Botanical Garden for not just helping us preserve this for history, but making that accessible, making that history even more accessible to students, scholars, and visitors. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you. Dr. Pantalone, I'm going to turn it over to President Bernstein. Okay, Jennifer, you're on.
Thank you so much, President Delgado, and all of you for being here today. This is a momentous time. I agree there's not a better borough. There's also not a greener borough. The Bronx has more parkland than any other borough, so it's a fitting note given what we're celebrating today. And I'm also so grateful for the partnership with Lehman. Fernando is on our board at NYBG, and so we share deep connections. And you know, for nearly 60 years, 57 years, as you said, we have partnered with Lehman and the CUNY Graduate Center to train the next generation of PhD botanists. And I want to acknowledge my colleague, Dr. Larry Kelly, who's going to share a little bit more about that partnership in a few moments, but he's been key to forging that, so I'm grateful for him. It's also fitting that we're here to commemorate this during New York City Climate Week, the tail end. Thank goodness I can't go to another event. It's been a very busy week for Climate Week, but you know, so much of the conversation during Climate Week has been about the role of nature, and we cannot protect what we don't understand, and so having a window into our natural history through collections like these is really essential. Our founders were botanists Nathaniel Lord Britton and Elizabeth Knight Britton, and it was, I will say, a somewhat unusual time for a woman to pursue a career of that nature, especially in science, but she made lasting contributions to the field, the study of mosses. She was a bryologist, and she also founded the very impactful Wildflower Preservation Society of America. Her career as a botanist began in 1875, where she graduated from Normal College and immediately joined their staff as a teacher. Normal College then became known as Hunter College, whose Bronx branch was Lehman College, which is where we are today. So there we go through that history. Elizabeth's personal interest in botany grew throughout her teaching career, and her activities with her students included making these pressed preserved plant specimens that documented the local flora, including on the campus itself. She went on to play a very significant role in the New York Botanical Gardens establishment. The story goes that she and her husband, who was a botanist, went to visit Kew Gardens in London on their honeymoon and came back and said, America needs a botanical garden of this nature. So we have built on her legacy over the decades, and the William and Linda Steer Herbarium today is the second largest herbarium in the world, housing nearly 8 million plant specimens that students and scholars from all over the world come to the garden to study, or we send them vouchers, or they access our digital collections. And it's wonderful that the Lehman College discovered a herbarium collection that contains plants that Elizabeth herself collected with her students, which will now join the herbarium that's housed at the institution that she founded. It's just a sort of beautiful homecoming, and we're so grateful that you have come to us to help steward this collection for posterity. So my thanks to the entire Lehman community. We look forward to building on what has been a long and fruitful partnership for many years to come. And who is next now? Larry. My colleague, Dr. Larry Kelly.
I'm Larry Kelly. I'm the Director of Graduate Studies at the New York Botanical Garden. For 23 years, I've had the privilege and the pleasure of working with our wonderful graduate students in the program and our treasured and esteemed colleagues here through Lehman College Biology Department. I look around and see people who I've worked with for all of this time, and I really appreciate all that we've achieved together. Thank you, Jennifer, for introducing me, and thank you, President Delgado, for welcoming us today. We're especially grateful to Lehman College for entrusting these historic specimens to NYBG's William and Linda Steer Herbarium. Collected by Elizabeth Britton and her students, the specimens now return to the herbarium that she helped establish, enriching one of the world's great scientific collections and symbolizing the close ties between our institutions. Our partnership goes back more than a half a century. Since 1968, Lehman College and CUNY have been our most important partners at the New York Botanical Garden in training the botanists of the future through NYBG's Graduate Studies program. Graduate students are the heart of science at the garden. They drive innovation in our labs, from genomics to molecular systematics to structural botany, and they keep us at the cutting edge of understanding plant diversity. The need for botanical expertise has never been greater, yet across the country, dedicated botany departments have disappeared, leaving fewer courses, fewer degrees, and fewer graduates with the specialized plant knowledge that the world urgently needs. Botanical expertise is essential if we are to address the current biodiversity and climate crisis, and our partnership with Lehman College helps fill this gap by maintaining a strong pipeline of graduate training in plant science here in New York City. Together, NYBG and Lehman College have trained more than 114, are my numbers, PhD students, so I'll have to coordinate with Dr. Delgado's office on these numbers. So more than 114 is not inconsistent with 150. The careers of these students extend into classrooms, in universities, at museums, NGOs, government agencies, and private industry in New York City, across the nation, and around the world. Today, we continue to share students through CUNY's PhD program in biology. These students are doing research that ranges from systematics and evolution to ecology, conservation biology, genomics, and ethnobotany. The gift of these specimens is a reminder that our partnership between NYBG and Lehman College is not only historic, but also living, dynamic, and growing. We look forward to strengthening this collaboration as we continue to train the next generations of plant scientists. So who's coming up next? Ellie, okay. Dr. Wurtzel, Lehman College Biology.
Hi, my name is Ellie Wurtzel. I'm a member of the biology department at Lehman and also faculty member in plant sciences. So what I thought I would do is to share with you a little bit about the discovery. I want to make sure to give credit to all of those who were involved, talk about that discovery and actually the future that it has beheld. And I am thinking also more holistically in terms of, what's happened in the last 150 years. So while I was chair last February, I received a very surprising email from Ed Kennelly, who's our current chair. And he wrote, "I'm organizing the storage area in the biology basement with plant sciences PhD student Ella Vardaman, and we came upon hundreds of historic herbarium specimens, some nearly 150 years old." So this was intriguing. I said, let's take a look. I was shocked to learn that the specimens had been stored in a large garbage bin, though carefully unpacked and moved by plant sciences PhD student Lydia Paradiso, who also serves as the president of the Torrey Botanical Society, and who noted the historical significance of the collection, along with James Lendermere, a botanist who's now at the New York State Museum. And this is when I was shocked when I saw these specimens from Elizabeth Knight Britton, because I understood that she was one of the founding leaders of the Botanical Garden. What's this doing in our basement? Another specimen was actually pressed between pages of the New York Times that was dated just before the 1929 stock market crash. So I thought, wow, I hope we save those as well. So this discovery launched a quest to uncover the collection's origins, and with help from Kenneth Schlesinger and Janet Munch at the Lehman Library, we traced many specimens to Normal College, which we've heard was the precursor to Hunter College and then Lehman College, and others were associated with the Torrey Botanical Society. So we wondered, why was this collection at Lehman? How did it get here? And with a lot of digging, and I have to give Ed a lot of credit in sending out lots of emails, we realized that Dr. Dominic Basile, who is the namesake of the Basile Lectures and an early founder of the Lehman NYBG Plant Sciences PhD program, he likely used these specimens in his plant biology courses. He was a passionate biologist, just like Elizabeth Knight Britton, and probably, was very intrigued by some of those specimens that had been collected. Then we learned that our neuroscientist, Dr. Stephen Redenti, helped protect the collection by moving it 12 years ago from the dusty Basile lab from Davis Hall to Science Hall. That's how it ended up here. So we began exploring a proper home, and so we reached out to the NYBG, which made sense, our longtime collaborator. And in March, again, I visited the collection with Janet Munch from the library, Dr. Emily Sessa, who's the director of the NYBG Herbarium, and Dr. Kennelly, and we wanted to assess the feasibility of gifting the collection to NYBG while maintaining access for Lehman and CUNY students. After the visit, Dr. Sessa wrote, "We would be happy to have these specimens at NYBG. The institutional partnership around the graduate program is important for us, and it may be of interest to CUNY students to have this collection close by." So this was very exciting. We found a home, and so right away I contacted President Delgado. Where is he sitting? Over there. And we started making plans for the move. So after a lot of logistical planning, the collection was moved over the summer, and we thank Dr. Renuka Sankaran, who's the current chair of the Plant Sciences PhD program, and NYBG Herbarium staff, Nicole Tarnowski, who is here, and has brought all these lovely samples from what was discovered and has been since remounted. Also Amy Weiss and Laura Briscoe, and they really are thanked for their very careful work in moving these specimens over. And then, of course, this has led to this event today where we are celebrating the formal transfer of this historic herbarium collection to NYBG, and we're very excited that it's in such an amazing home, the largest herbarium in the Western Hemisphere. I don't think we could have found a better home. So I started thinking about what is the significance of this collection for where we are today. Here we had lots of famous botanists collecting samples, and this is what people typically think of what a botanist does, but is that really what we do? So let me tell you that, as I see it, Lehman College and the Botanical Garden are the heart of plant biology research, training, and education in New York City. This is the place to come to. While many trace this partnership back to 1968, when the presidents of both institutions launched the collaborative PhD program, this rediscovered collection reveals that plant research in the Bronx dates back over 150 years. So we have a long history. But how has it changed? So these early botanical studies laid the foundation for the groundbreaking research happening today in the Bronx. What began as exploratory science has grown into a dynamic center of innovation, educating future scientists and tackling global challenges in health, sustainability, and the environment. I tried to capture all the research that's happening both at the Botanical Garden and at Lehman. And so what I see is that today's research spans cutting-edge fields, including drug discovery from medicinal plants, which is unlocking new treatments for major diseases, fundamental research in plant biochemistry and metabolism, which addresses urgent global health challenges, including vitamin A deficiency and micronutrient malnutrition, as well as heavy metal toxicity. Then there's computational biology, AI and machine learning. How does that fit with plants, you might ask, which are accelerating discoveries and applications from conservation to human health. And lastly, synthetic biology and molecular biosciences, which are decoding plant signaling and plant stress responses and serving to advance food security and sustainable agriculture. The Bronx now stands as a leader, a global leader in plant research, not just regional. driving innovation toward a healthier and more sustainable future. At Lehman and NYBG, pioneering plant research has attracted millions in funding from prestigious sources, including the National Institutes of Health, the National Science Foundation, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Rockefeller Foundation, and I could go on. Our scientists are internationally recognized, publishing in top journals, securing patents, and advancing translational plant biology. But the excellence has also sparked new synergies across disciplines, leading to novel discoveries, joint publications, and new funding successes. So we're not only cultivating the next generation of plant biologists, but our labs are also launching graduate and undergraduate students into diverse careers. And I could list many, but I would just say in short, from neuroscientists in academia to industry and to NIH program directors in government. So not just plant biologists, that's just the beginning. And it all began in the Bronx, ignited by a few passionate botanists. So we extend our deepest gratitude to everyone who helped preserve this historic herbarium collection and secure its new home at the Botanical Garden. Special thanks to William Murray, who I think is somewhere here in the President's office, former Dean Pamela Mills, Dean David Pantalone, Richard Relkin, our plant sciences PhD students who worked very hard and actually were ones who recognized the importance of this collection. Thanks to Dr. Sankaran and Dr. Sessa for coordinating the transfer, and of course to Dr. Kennelly for leading the effort. Thank you to Presidents Delgado and President Bernstein for your steadfast support of plant science and for championing the collaboration that has made this Bronx-born initiative a regional and a global treasure. The transfer of this historic herbarium collection to the NYBG reflects our shared commitment to scientific excellence and education, and together we honor a legacy and invest in a future of innovation for the Bronx, for New York, and beyond. I don't know who is next after me. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Renuka Sankaran. I'm a faculty in biology at Lehman, and I'm the chair of the Plant Sciences subprogram as well. Plant science is about discovery, we know that. Sometimes in the lab, sometimes in the field, and sometimes in the most unexpected places. And how many of you here have stumbled upon something by chance that ended up being really meaningful? Many of us, I hope, right? That's exactly what brings us here today, a historic herbarium collection, twice saved from destruction, and now finding its rightful home at the New York Botanical Garden. The collection is more than preserved specimens. It is a living reminder of the history we inherit and the future we are building. And it's also a powerful symbol of the partnership between Lehman College, CUNY, and the New York Botanical Garden. How many of you have either studied or taught in this partnership before? Most of us here, right? And you know firsthand how special it is. For decades, the collaboration has created opportunities that bridge classrooms, labs, and world-class collections. Together, we are training not only doctoral students, but also undergraduates and master's students who share a deep love for plants and a passion for discovery. As the chair of the CUNY Plant Sciences doctoral program, I'm very proud to highlight the strength and the future of the CUNY NYBG partnership. Our doctoral program in plant sciences is thriving. This fall, we welcomed our largest cohort recently, in the recent past, bringing our total to 21 students. Some of them are here today. And over the lifetime of our program, we have trained, I believe, more than 150 doctoral students who have gone on to shape the field of plant sciences around the globe. While in the program, our students, as Ellie mentioned, have earned NIH fellowships, Fulbright awards, and other competitive honors. After graduation, they have moved into prestigious postdoctoral fellowships, as well as leadership positions in academia, government, and industry worldwide. Their success reflects this unique training environment that only this partnership can provide. Lehman College is also strengthening its commitment by hiring our new plant biologists, so thank you. further enriching the research and the teaching connections at the heart of this collaboration. Having instructors from both CUNY and the New York Botanical Garden teach our students is an extraordinary benefit, as many of you know, giving them access to expertise and mentorship found in very few programs. But sustaining this momentum requires continued investment and collaboration across all three institutions, Lehman College, the Graduate Center, and the New York Botanical Garden. Support through graduate assistantships, faculty positions, and shared resources is essential for ensuring that our students can thrive and contribute to addressing the critical challenges of plant biology, ecology, and conservation. I think we can all agree that's work worth investing in. Today's ceremony reminds us that the past and the future of plant science in New York are deeply intertwined. We are honoring a collection rooted in history while also strengthening a partnership that is cultivating the next generation of plant scientists. So, as we hand over this historic collection today, let us celebrate not just the preservation of the past, but also the cultivation of the future. From undergraduates beginning their journey to graduate students and doctoral students advancing their frontiers of knowledge, this partnership inspires plant scientists at every stage. So thank you everyone who made this moment possible, and especially to our faculty and our students whose discoveries, both expected and unexpected, remind us why we do this work. Now, I would like to invite you all to view our special display of these historic specimens and join us for a few light refreshments. So thank you all and have a great afternoon.